potential candidate for our nomination for presidency. You have seen him out there doing some things, talking with people and that sort of thing, and there's been a whole lot of questions about what Robby Wells is out there doing. I had some of these questions, and I had to talk to him on the phone and get some answers. And so in that discussion, we realized that Robby needs to talk to you. You all need to talk to Robby, and I want to give this opportunity, about 5-10 minutes, for Robby to come up here and speak to you, give you a little bit of synopsis of what's going on with what Robby is doing. As most of you are aware, he's announced that he is running for president, currently as a independent. And so, you know, that causes a lot of us constitutionalists to have some questions. And so, without further ado, Robby Wells, come up here and tell us what's going on, brother.
Well, thank you so much, Randy, and it's great to be here in St. Louis. I was here back in March, and it's good to see Cindy again. I actually had a chance to spend some time in Cindy's home and meet with her and Donna Ivanovich and her husband and a couple of other party members in the state of Missouri, so it's great to be here. You know, yesterday when we flew out here, Aaron Miles, my campaign manager back there in the blue shirt, it was his first time flying. Aaron is a young guy, but he is a political savvy guy. He's a genius, and that's Virgil Good's cousin, as a matter of fact, and he has come on as my campaign manager. But Aaron's never flown, and when we were up at 30,000 feet, the plane started shuddering a little bit. We were in a 757. The pilot came on and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, engine number 4 just went out. Don't worry about it. We're only going to be delayed by 15 minutes getting into St. Louis." And so Aaron's he's starting to sweat a little bit, and then about 20 minutes later, the plane starts shuddering again. The pilot comes back on and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, engine number 3's gone out. Don't worry, we've still got 2 strong engines, but we're going to be delayed by 35 minutes. And Aaron's about to climb the walls. Well, about 10 minutes later, the plane really starts shaking real bad. The pilot comes back on and he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, engine number 2 just went out. Don't worry. We've got 1 strong engine, but we're going to be delayed by an hour and 45 minutes getting into St. Louis." I looked over at Aaron. Aaron looked at me. He says, "Man, if that last engine goes out, we could be up here all day long." To Chairman Fluckinger and to Vice Chair Randy Stufflebean and to the members of the Constitution Party, it is great to be here today and be able to address you and tell you exactly what's going on with my campaign. I consider the Constitution Party to be my political home, and it's great to be amongst great people that I call my family, and that's why I want to be here with you today, because part of my strategic plan starts today, and it starts right here amongst family, where I can tell you exactly what is going on in the inner circle of my campaign team. I only have a few minutes before I've got to fly out. I'm flying out at 5:40 this afternoon. So as soon as I get done, we're heading straight to the airport. So please don't think I'm rude when we run out of here right after this, but I did want to take a couple of minutes. On November 3rd, 2012, I announced in Nashville, Tennessee, just 3 days before the general elections, that I am running for President of the United States in 2016. And I announced that I'm doing that as an independent. Now, if you look back in 2012, I also announced that I was running as an independent then. And if you look on my FEC report, I'm listed as an independent. And I'm doing that for a purpose. I know that you are probably sitting back and you're wondering why I'm doing that. And I'm going to go through a little strategic planning with you real quick. I'm also the national spokesman for a committee that's called the Clarion Call to Unite Committee, or the CCTUC. This Clarion Call Committee is working to build relationships with a lot of the constitutional conservative third parties that are out there, some of them that have actually splintered off of the Constitution Party. And we are creating dialogue with these parties to try to bring all these parties and roll them back into the Constitution Party. Okay? Because we're splintered right now, we don't have the traction that we could gain if we start bringing everybody together. And see, that's what my campaign's all about. It's about bringing people together. So that's in a nutshell what we're doing, and that's why I'm listing myself as an independent. When I go to these other parties, they're more apt to listen to me when I say, here's what we need to do. We're not getting things done the way we're getting them done now. In fact, we've all heard the saying, if you keep on doing what you're doing, you will keep on getting what you're getting. Well, it's time for us to do something completely different. We've got a great opportunity right now. If ever there was a time when the Republican Party was on the ropes, when they were on life support, when basically they're on their last breath, I believe it's right now with what happened on November the 6th. And now's the time that we can step forward as constitutionalists and show this country that there is an option, the perfect option, which lies right here. You know, back on November 21st, like I told you, in 2011, I announced that I was running, and I stepped away from my coaching career, and people thought that I was crazy. How does he just think he's going to be president? Well, it was something that had been working in me for a very long time, since I was a very young child. My father had a chance to work for one of the former presidents, and I saw him go from being the governor of the state of Georgia on to being the president of the United States. And this guy was my friend, and it just kind of stuck with me as a very young age that one day I was going to do it. So I consider myself to have been in preparation for many years to get up to this point where I am right now. My goal for the 2012 election cycle was just to get my name out there. If I had gotten the nomination of the Constitution Party, that was great and good, and you know, I gave it a valiant effort. But of course, Virgil Goode got that nomination, and what a great candidate he was for the Constitution Party. He was so good that I had to steal away his cousin to be my campaign manager. This past year has been an amazing experience. I've been in 26 states this year, and I've seen thousands of people telling me we need to go in a different direction. Well, we're going to give them that direction. The people of the United States, they're sick and tired of being sick and tired of hearing the same old coming out of Washington. But I want y'all to understand something about me. Maybe it's just the past 33 years that I spent in sports. Maybe it was those coaches telling me that you never quit, you always persevere, you push through the hard times. Because I've got a spirit that says, I will not back down, I will not retreat, I will never surrender, and most definitely, I will never quit. And that's why I announced on November the 3rd that I'm running for President of the United States. You know, in 2012, we gently knocked on the door. We knocked on the door for liberty. But in 2016, I'm here to tell you that we intend on kicking that door down. Today, we've got, on my campaign team, we've got members in 45 states that are working on this campaign. In fact, today, my press secretary from Chicago is here, Kristen Megan. And in the back, of course, is Aaron Lyles. And then my state coordinator from Louisiana is here, Josh Fauver, who's also going to speak in just a little bit. So here's the thing. We've got all these differences. We can sit here and we can be inclusive. But what we've got to understand is whether you're black or whether you're white, whether you're young or old, male or female, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, constitutionalist or a libertarian, Green Party or independent, we are all different. But we have one common bond. And that bond is we are all Americans. We're all members of the greatest nation on the face of this planet. And I'm glad to stand up here and tell you that I want to be a candidate. And I can promise you this, as president, I would never apologize for being an American and being a member of this country, the greatest nation that everybody still looks to. Even though we're going through these hard times, people still look to this country. America needs a president that's going to go in the opposite direction of what's going on right now. A president that's going to push to repeal the USA Patriot Act, the NDAA, and Obamacare. America needs a president with thick skin and a backbone that's not going to buckle under to these special interest groups and these crooked politicians up in Washington. And you're looking at that guy. Okay, you may not agree with everything that I do and the way I do it, but I'll tell you this right now, my heart's pure. I love the people of this country, and that's why I'm standing up. I hope that each and every one of you take an opportunity to figure out what we're doing. America's going to need a president that's going to push Congress to do their job to make sure that the Fed is completely audited and shut down, so that we can put, thank you, so that we can put the sovereign power of our money system back in the hands of Congress, which is what Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution says. America's going to need a president that's going to operate with confidence and never apologize. And I won't. I can promise you that. For the 20 million people that are unemployed and the 25 million people that are underemployed, and for the 39 million Americans that are living in poverty, and the 149 million Americans that are existing on low income, and for the 99% of us that feel like our American dream has been stolen from us and replaced with an economic nightmare, I'm here to tell you I'm not going away. My plan is the game plan. You can go on my website, which is www.robbywells2016.com. My plan, the game plan, is a step-by-step, common sense approach of what we've got to do to get this republic back to greatness. People have asked me, they said, who are we? Who is my team? Well, I just tell them this. We're not the left wing and we're not the right wing. We're the bird that sits in the middle. And we're going to pull the left wing and the right wing to us so that this eagle can soar all the way to Washington in 2016. We're going to pull that left wing and that right wing to us. We're going after the independent voters. We're going after the third party voters. We're also going after the 90 million Americans that choose to sit out this election just a few weeks ago because they did not feel that they had a candidate. And that's who we're going after. Again, my name's Robby Wells. For those of you that haven't met me, I'm running for President of the United States. We're looking for some people that will help us across this country. And if this interests you and you want to be a part, great and good. But we're going to bring this thing all the way back to the Constitution Party as we go across this country and we talk to these other parties about what we've got to do in order to bring this great republic back to the people and return the liberties and the freedom to the people of the United States of America. May God bless each and every one of you, and may God bless the United States of America. Okay, anybody questions?
You started off with the Reform Party, then switched to Constitution, then lost, now you're an independent. After you lost the Constitution Party, did you support Virgil?
Did I support Virgil?
Yeah.
I did support Virgil, okay? But now here's what I'm going to tell you. I've always been listed as an independent, okay? Again, in 2012, the goal was to get my name out there. You've got to crawl before you walk and walk before you run. And we would do anything that we could, you know, morally and ethically right in order to get our name out there. And I think it worked pretty well because in 2012 we were invited to go speak down at Paul Fest, which put us on a different stage. And a lot of the Ron Paul people, of course, love my platform, and they've jumped on board with us now. And that's across the country. And I will say this to you. If my father was running for President of the United States, I can promise you this. I would never endorse somebody else if my father was standing for the Constitution. Hey, Nick.
You came here, and you know, a lot of us paid here to come here.
Sure.
You come here, did you pay to come here? Or you just on that, did you pay what our fees are to come here and talk to us? That's a very simple question. Did you pay to come here?
No, we didn't pay.
Well, you should have. Support our group.
Yeah, I paid $100.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
We paid more. I'm taking care of our group here, and you just come in campaigning. That reminds me of Obama campaigned even before when he was senator. That doesn't feel right inside of me.
Okay,
Your
we'll
campaign,
cut you
how
a
you
check.
doing?
Any other questions before he goes, because he got to run here because of this flight? If not, thank you for standing under the gun.
Yeah.